Rated T for Teen.
Greetings, champions! Welcome to the Valor End developer update. This update, we at Evil Mojo wanted to present the contents of the patch in a more direct and clear manner. Our hope is this allows you to better understand what's coming next update. So, without further ado, let's dive right into what the Valor End update has to offer. First, let's take a visit to this update's cosmetics. We enter a realm drenched in fog, the sounds of metal binds clanging, guiding you to a forgotten shack. Mechanisms whirl to life as Judge and Jury Khan breaks free, determined to execute his will as the first unlock of the event pass. This version of the Honorable Guard lets go of his code to instead engulf his foes with ferocious gunfire. The Recolor, Firing Squad, embraces the darkest magics of the land to amplify his ability to lay slaughter. Pushing further through the haunted trails of levels, weary travelers have the unfortunate pleasure of meeting Scorched Nyx. This queen drops all regality for brute force, aggressively pursuing her foes until their last breath ekes out. Her premier recolor, Permafrost, imbues her attacks with a cutting cold that will leave your veins frozen over. Collect these skins and additional cosmetics and rewards throughout the 30 levels in the Valor's End event pass. Now, let's take a look at some new features. Observant players will notice that we've changed some key visuals across the main menu. XP is now a green bar, and notifications have a lighter fuchsia tone. Throughout the rest of the game, XP is also now represented by full circles instead of radials like prior. These changes were made alongside other color adjustments to keep our visual language consistent throughout the game. We also have made updates to the store to allow players to buy more than one booster at a given time. Digging a bit deeper into the play menu will show us more updates. We've done a pass on buttons across the game to make them more uniform. Wait, is that payload? That's right, the return mode will finally be available in customs, alongside some new game rules for all modes. We've added more options to augment credit gain to allow players to experiment with new ideas. We've got a few more major features for you all, so let's head into a game. Welcome back to Snowfall Junction, but a version some older players may remember. We've brought back the details removed from the map during beta, now restored to its modern iteration. From the frozen ponds near the spawns, to the glowing windows showing life in the fort, to the trees off in the distance. This map feels so much cozier with these back. However, that won't last much longer. Pesky flanks, always ruining the piece. You'll notice most of these ones apply marks to their targets, and Lexus has moved from where it normally is on screen. Look down at our health bar, and you'll see all of those hostile effects now displayed there. We've moved familiar marks like Lilith and Omen, as well as added the likes of Ceres and Genos to this improved version. This will not only help players keep track of what is causing effects on them, but allow for more nuanced decision making in gameplay. Now that we've explored these general features, let's address the spirit among us. For the first time in 5 years, a champion is forsaking their class to join a new one. Kasumi is now a flank. As a part of re-envisioning the Death's Howl, we have made changes to every single ability in her kit. Yokai Doll will now have increased damage and less lockout time, but reduced range to be closer to her new peers. Savage Tear is shifting from a kill button to a more nuanced sustain. She'll now have it up more often, but with reduced damage. However, instead of disarming her targets at max stacks, she will self-heal an amount based on each stack she has on an opponent. This ability now also generates stacks, meaning it can be used as an engagement tool. Meanwhile, Body and Soul has been transformed into a true movement ability. You will still leave your body behind, however, Kasumi's spirit is fully invisible to enemies, and when you cancel it, she reappears at the spirit's location now. This makes her extra crafty in how she dips through the maps and approaches teamfights. Spirit Lair is also renamed Spirit Traps, and takes on the functionality of her old Talent 2 Spirit Bombs directly in the base kit. Finally, her ultimate has inherited the disarm her Tear used to have, disarming every champion affected for a small duration. Use this in coordination with your team to shut down a push or start your own. The team is super proud of where she has gotten and are excited for player feedback from PTS. Speaking of player feedback, let's talk some balance highlights. Furia has been in a polarizing spot, and the team has listened heavily to feedback since her Cherish changes on her place in the support lineup. After a lot of testing, we are reworking both Cherish and Exterminate. For starters, base Kindle Soul will be inheriting a weaker version of the original Cherish's healing bonus and range. This will make it a more viable healing option across talents, but much less than she has been handing out recently on Cherish. Cherish itself will now provide a small AoE when Kindle Soul hits its target, sharing a percentage of the healing with nearby teammates, similar to her sister Saris. Exterminate will now focus on her Wrath passive instead of Pyre Strike, increasing the attack speed per tier to 15%, up to a cap of 45%. That may sound like a minor change, but when her Wrath is fully ramped, she's a force to be reckoned with. Speaking of supports, Io is receiving a long-requested change to make Luna a more core part of her identity. Lifelink's current effect will be shifted into base kit, meaning Luna will always be able to heal her teammates around her regardless of talent. The new lifelink will instead make it where Luna and Io share half the healing they receive with each other, allowing a healing-centric Io to focus without worrying too much about Luna's health bar. We've also improved the visibility of Moonlight. Looking at Kasumi's new peers, Caspian has been struggling since we took a swing at his ability to build stacks. Instead of restoring that, we're reducing the ammo cost of Love and improving both Love and War's bonus attack speed per stack to allow him to feel more impactful when you have those up. We've also put the momentum back into Deadly Momentum, making the twirl optional and allowing players to continue moving after the ability ends. Finally, Measured Cadence now consumes less ammo, and the projectile now applies a minor slow to targets hit by it. In a similar vein, Seven has lacked a clear identity for his fire modes after we adjust his launch state. We're tuning burst mode down in range and damage, and upping the ammo cost to match the amount of bullets visually fired, while Auto is receiving a range nerf but substantial damage increase. This aims to keep modes ideal at long, medium, and short range while not thriving in modes outside their own. We also reduced the swap time on these modes and given Tribunal upgrades some much needed increases. We've also reduced the effectiveness of both the Knight and the Terror to keep Seven's movement a bit closer to the rest of his class. Finally, for frontlines, Anar will be seeing a change to her Earthen Guard duration and the amount of DR it provides to make a less potent threat across her kit. Mother's Grace specifically will lose the bonus healing effect it's had, no more double rejuvenate for her. As for Nyx, we are reducing her health and once again hitting Rift Slash, this time in cooldown and its slow strength and duration. Her Royal Presence is also being put on a longer cooldown, asking both of these tanks to invest more to stay alive consistently. These highlights are a small section of our balance. For a full list of changes as well as bug fixes, keep your eyes out for patch notes. For the LTMs this patch, we focused on providing twists on our core experiences. First up, Swift Siege. This quick variant of Siege sees teams starting at 2 out of 4 score, meaning a single push can win them the whole game. Players will have increased credits and movement speed to keep this mode blazing fast. We hope its more casual feel provides a new way for players to enjoy our main mode. Then we have Team Arena, a gunplay-focused variant of Team Deathmatch. Ability regen rates are slowed by 40%, but weapon damage is increased, twice as much on headshots. Hone your skills in this tactical version of our most chaotic mode. Classic Maps is a queue holding 3 original versions of our remade maps: Timbermill, Warder's Gate, and Stonekeep. Explore these maps' routes in this nostalgic romp to honor how far the game has come. That's all for this developer update. We hope players enjoy all the changes headed to Paladins and are excited to hear feedback from our PTS players this weekend. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more info and notes as Valor's End arrives later this month. Take care!